Hey everyone, welcome back to another video. Today I am reviewing the 1/550 scale Grublo from 1981. This is a really cool kit. I really like it quite a lot. Obviously, being a kit from 1981, it does have its fair share of problems. Some of them problems, some of them is just the way the kit is. So this is not a snap together kit. This is a glue together kit. Some of the pieces snap fit, but 80% of them need to be glued together. I didn't find that to be much of a problem, especially because it's such a simple kit. There aren't really any complicated mechanisms or articulation joints, anything like that. It's all very minimal, and so it makes gluing this kit together really pretty simple and yeah, not too difficult. The seam lines, they were pretty extensive. I can throw up a couple photos right now. I believe I took some while I was working on it, but yeah, all along the arms, lots of seam lines. That's really the main area, and then along the sides of the body, I actually had to completely putty and fill a lot of gaps and seam lines on this kit. And on the sides of the body specifically, I actually had to completely putty it to the point where I took away all of the original detail and panel lines. And in this case, because of the way I am posing it, I didn't rescribe anything, but if I would have wanted to show that detail, I would have had to completely rescribe everything from scratch. So that is there on the side of the body of the kit. What else do I have to say about this kit? In terms of articulation, the arms can move. They can both rotate about 180 degrees. So right now you're seeing, one arm in the forward position, one in the back. They can both move either way. The joints did tend to get a little bit tight with the glue and then the paint. They can still move, but it's tight, which is actually nice because on a lot of these really old Bandai kits, the joints are actually quite loose, so that's nice. Also, in terms of articulation, the claws spin 360 degrees, they spin infinitely. In my case, the front one is the only one that retained articulation. When I was gluing everything together, I guess maybe I put a little bit too much glue on the rear claw, and right now it's not spinning. I might be able to wiggle it loose, but after I painted up the kit and everything, I just didn't think it was worth the risk. All three prongs of the claws are glued on. That part is a little tricky to glue. It's really easy for glue to overflow because there's not a lot of space you're working with. They're very, very thin parts. And then, yeah, just the main body sits over a smaller body, which is kind of hard to see in these photos, in this video, but maybe I'll throw up some photos. Then it's got the two little thrusters there, no articulation there. And that's pretty much it. Overall, I'm probably saying this a bunch, I really, really like this kit. It's very simple. Not a ton of panel lines on the arms, just a few tiny little details near the claws. But the top of the body of the craft has a ton of really gorgeous paneling details. And I did some Mr. Weathering oil. Used it for panel lining, and then I also used it for weathering. I used the black, I used the ground brown, and then I used the brown stain, and I kind of mixed and matched those. I did a few different techniques, some smudging with Q-tips, some washing it away with thinner and a paintbrush to create streaks, and then a few areas where I just, rubbed it with paper towel. Different techniques to get different types of textures and patterns there. So that was for the weathering. I was considering doing some scratches, but I really liked how it was at this point, and I didn't want to mess with it. Other than that, just some basic airbrushing, some pre-shading, some highlighting at the very end, and some masking to get the eye there. The eye was a little bit tricky. I had to do it a couple times. I used some stencils, some circle stencils that I ordered online. I forget where I got them from, and they really came in handy for doing the mono eye. And that's pretty much it. Oh, one other piece. I used some Bandai Builder's Parts HD, specifically, I think, the blades set, which is essentially V-fins and some blades to create a ship that has 3 fins versus the one on the box art that only has that 1 fin in the center. So that's the only real modification I made to the kit. I was considering doing some additional, maybe like verniers or some vents, but I kind of was really enjoying this old school look of the kit, and yeah, I didn't want to mess with it too much. So overall, I would say if you were open to puttying and sanding up your kits and airbrushing it, I would actually really recommend this kit. There are some other old kits that I have found to be really quite difficult, but this one is not so difficult. It took me all in all 1 day of gluing, sanding, and puttying, like a day and a half of airbrushing, and then another day and a half of, panel lining and top coating and all that. So it was really like a 3-day project, and it looks great. I love it. I'm excited to put it up on a shelf or maybe in my display case, and yeah, get on to the next kit. So thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know what you think of this kit, what you think of the build, what you think of really old school Bandai kits, glue kits from the 80s. I'm curious to know what you guys think, and if any of you have picked up any or want to work on them or have worked on them, definitely let me know. And yeah, look forward to seeing you guys in the next video. Thanks so much. Bye.